What is going on, guys? It is your boy Tor Crunch, and in today's video we are going to be continuing the character evolution series. In my previous video for this series, I did do a evolution video on Ichigo, and I did mess up by not adding all the versions of him. In this video I will change that, and I will be using all characters, including holiday characters and maybe frenzy characters. So hopefully the video does come out better, just by adding all of them. Anyways, as many of you know, Ulquiorra is my favorite character in the game and in the anime in general. So I'm super excited to actually do this video. I've been actually working on this, and it's been in the works for a couple of days now. So with that said, let's go ahead and just get into it. So first off, we start with OG Ulquiorra. And this character was released at the very start of the game, about 2 years and a couple of months. And let me tell you what, it was such a pain to get this character. I just recently got him as of a couple of months, just because I was able to purchase him off the monthly character packs. But I'm telling you, it took forever, and I'm so happy I actually got him now, but it really did take forever. And although I did want him just because I try to collect all the Ulquiorras, looking at his stats, he does have a little bit outdated stats. For example, his attack is at 535 and his SP is at 626. However, he does have Frenzy, which helps out with his outdated SP. He also does have Bruiser, which increases his normal attack by 20%, which isn't the best by no means, but it does help out. And I mean, this character isn't really supposed to be one of the better characters in the game, but he is a pretty decent OG character, especially being one of the first characters to ever be released in the game. To have Frenzy with 626 SP, you're going to inflict quite a bit of damage still. It's going to be decent. One thing I did want to mention before I moved on to the next characters was that I don't know what you guys might think about this, but I was thinking, looking at the characters and all this, I was just thinking maybe, just maybe, K-Lab could consider making a remake for this form, just because I really like how he looks here, and I think it'd be pretty cool. K-Lab, if you're listening, please remake it. But anyways, we move on to the next Ulquiorra, and this one was one of the more hyped characters, I believe, in the whole game since the game was released. And it is Segunda Etapa Ulquiorra. So he was released about a whole year and a couple of months ago, alongside with Full Hollow Ichigo. And these two, when they first hit the game, were just insane and just amazing characters. SE Ulquiorra has SP of 671 with Frenzy, which is still pretty relevant to the game. He also has a full screen special, which does inflict quite a bit of damage because he also has Devastation plus 40%. Although he's not one of the more used up heart characters in the game, he is still a great option in PvE and especially in PvP, just because he's got a really nice set of strong attacks. His third one being full screen basically, and it's like it hits a couple of waves. Just very useful, and especially in PvP, like I said. So he still could be a pretty dominant force. But anyways, we keep going forward, and we were introduced to Frenzy Ulquiorra. This one was pretty hyped, but kind of a downer for me, just because it is his first release, which I think is personally one of the cooler looking characters. And I would have liked to have had an actual version of him with good stats and all. Of course, being a frenzy character, he's not going to be all that great. He's only really used for his soul trait, which is 18 strong attack damage and 9% dodge. This makes his link pretty good for PvP, but of course not the greatest. And just honestly, the fact that he's a frenzy character kind of is a downer for me, a Ulquiorra fan. But like I said, he's still a good link. But moving on, we go on a few months down the road, and we were introduced to White Day characters, and just like that, we went from canon versions to a Frenzy version, and now a holiday version. Compared to Frenzy, holiday characters can be pretty decent. So let's just go ahead and get into this character. Like I said, he was released with the White Day banner alongside a new Byakuya. So Byakuya and Ulquiorra were the new characters on that banner. And this Ulquiorra does have 657 attack with 20% bruiser, and he also has 630 SP with frenzy. Also, he has a nice little increase of 30% from devastation towards his special, which isn't the greatest, but you know, he inflicts a pretty nice amount of damage through there. What really is the focal point of this character, of course, is frenzy with 630 SP. That's always going to be nice, you know, just the double hits. One really cool thing about this character is that his second strong attack is a self heal, which is really cool, and it really does make a lot of sense just because in the anime Ulquiorra could regenerate his body parts. So that's actually really cool. It makes a lot of sense, and it surprises me that hasn't been implemented into the other characters, the other Ulquiorra forms. Another really cool thing about this holiday character is that he has 16% damage reduction. So as you guessed, he's an awesome PvP character. You know, of course, having that damage reduction and of course healing, he can be an absolute tank in PvP.
俺からのお返しだ。お前に断る権利はない。
And moving on forward, we get to the more recent times, and we were introduced to the most recent Ulquiorra, actually, being Mine Segunda Etapa Ulquiorra. This character took me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, by surprise, especially because, you know, SE Ulquiorra, the Heart version, was still a decent character, and I think we still had a couple of months before, you know, we needed an upgraded Ulquiorra version. But of course, I was super excited, and you know, one big reason is just that he is a ranged character. The first of its kind, at least for Ulquiorra. We had never seen a ranged normal attack damage character. And if you didn't know, he does currently have the highest SP in the game of 729 SP. That's just insane. His attacks is also pretty good. You know, 623 with 20% bruiser for a boost on his normal attack damage is actually pretty nice. You know, he does inflict pretty decent damage. He also has devastation plus 40% on his special, which is insane because he also inflicts burn. So he is a great boss killer. He also has debilitator, so the burn does last a little longer. So, you know, obviously, all in all, this character is definitely the best out of all the forms and one of the better characters in the game in general.
力の差を教えてやる。セロオスキュラス。
And with that said, that brings us to the end of the video. Sadly, that last Ulquiorra is probably the last form we'll ever see. I know I did ask for an upgraded or a remake of the OG version, and I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that KLab somehow finds it in their hearts to get that released. But you know, I do believe that Ulquiorra, this Mine version, is probably the last one, and I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. He is awesome, and he's still a great character. But that is the end of the video. I do want to thank you guys for sticking through if you are still watching, and I do want to ask you guys to let me know what other character evolution should I do. Like, give me suggestions. At least make it a character that has 3 versions at least in the game, just because you know, it is a character evolution. And I do want to ask you guys another favor. If you can, please hit the like button on this video. These do take a long time to make, and of course, if you are new, please go ahead and subscribe. I make videos on Bleach bracelets every single day, so if you don't want to miss out on any of that, go ahead and subscribe. And with that said, I love you guys so much. Seriously, give me suggestions, like I said in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.